name's Molly. I was born an Irish Catholic lesbian. One of the rarest breeds to come out of the Midwest. Still being studied by scientists. And my dad, Kevin. I know I sound like I chop wood for a living. It's just a hobby. You see, when you choose to be gay, you gotta sign a waiver with the gay lords that you'll have a creative Etsy page. So I chose pieces of wood. First two people I decided to come out to are my two brothers, because they're my boys, y'all. And it was before Uber, so I said, hey, fellas, get in the van. Mom's driving us to the bar. I got something to tell you. And we blacked out, so the only thing I kind of remember saying to them was I grabbed their necks, and I said, brothers, I like my bagels like I like my boobies, and that's 2 at a time in my hands. And then I squeezed their necks real tight. So I had to come out to them again properly the next morning. My one brother's like, Maldal, you said it was obvious. How would we know you were gay? And I said, well, I had a bowl cut till I was 13 and a half by choice. Okay? I signed up for 6th grade softball so I could wear the pants. And I wore my All That t-shirt till it disintegrated off of my body. These are the same two brothers that when I was 10 years old convinced me that my birth name was not Molly Kearney, but it was in fact Meat Brick. Meat Brick. They made a fake birth certificate and crinkled it up and burnt the edges. And I was like, this is my destiny. So little Meat Brick went to school the next day in my jumper, and I went up to Sister Karen's desk and I said, Sister Karen, something's come up. I will not be answering to Molly anymore. You will call me Meat Brick. Went back to my desk, signed my math paper, Meat Brick, like I was Oprah. And my friends started calling me MB, and I love nicknames. I gave myself my own nickname the summer before, and I was like, Dad, you'll call me Sport, or we're not talking for the whole summer. So my dad and I didn't talk for an entire summer. Can you imagine being on the playground with a good old Meat Brick? I was like a big 1990s Roseanne Barr in 4th grade, okay? I ate Meat Bricks for breakfast. Playing Red Rover, and I'm like, call me over. And they're like, Meat Brick, and I'm like, forget your lunch money, I'm gonna eat you all. Yeah, so the principal called my mom and said, Mrs. Kearney, your daughter's a little bit of a loose cannon. She's telling the entire student body that her name is Meat Stick. And my mom goes, my daughter's name is Meat Brick. And hung up on her. Family's pretty savage, but we look out for our own. I dress myself every day. Unless I'm hungover, then the day before dresses me. I love beer, but beer does not love me back. I'll wake up in the morning sometimes from a hangover and I'll be like, that's me trying to cry. I'm just so dehydrated. You guys ever get so hungover where you cross your legs laying down to give you the feeling of sitting up for the day? If I'm really bad in the hole, I'll call my mom and I'll be like, hey mom, it's me, Molly. She's like, yeah, I pay your cell phone bill. What's wrong? I was like, I wanted to thank you for giving birth to my 12-pound baby body, and I'm sorry for everything. I'm an organ donor. This is the last day on earth for me. I'm dying. One day I decided to go to the bar in the morning and, get ahead of the hangover, and I grabbed my pals and I ordered some Dirty Shirleys to spice it up a bit. And I took a sip, and this is where you're gonna have to follow me to the bathroom because it went down like a rocket. And I squeezed my butt cheeks together so hard, I could have cracked an egg and made you an omelet. I get to the bathroom stall and I do the sign of the cross because I'm still Catholic in a crisis. And then, all of a sudden, I hear something in the stall next to me that I have never heard in a bathroom before. It's a lady's voice, and she goes, 1, 2, 3, oh, come on. And then everything kind of just sucked right back up on me, and I was like, totally fine. I'm like, what am I even doing in here, you know? So I decided to do the neighborly thing, and I went and I checked on her, and I said, knock, knock, excuse me, ma'am. Do you need a hand? She's like, sweetie, I'm trying to get my father off the toilet. That's when I morphed into my dad, and I said, ma'am, step aside. Was nose to nose with a 90-year-old guy, and I said, sir, my name's Molly. I'm gonna be getting you off this toilet today. I know I look like a mirage from the Sandlot, but I am real, and in this scenario, you are my beast. So I wrapped my hungover, weak body around his bare back because for some reason his daughter also took his shirt off, perhaps for a better grip. And I touched the cookie dough back on him and I whispered, on my count. And I went 1, 2, 3. Hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, yeah. And he said, what the hell is going on? And his daughter tapped me out, thank God. And I went back to the bar, and at this point, remember, my friends are sitting there waiting for me. It's been 20 minutes. I'm in a deep sweat, and I was like, nothing bad happened. I was doing a service. And then I felt a tap on my shoulder, and I was like, there's no way that man can move that fast. But he can. And he had a walker, and he's like, little lady, if you were born a man, you'd be a linebacker for the Cleveland Browns. And then he paid my tab, y'all. Thank you guys. My name is Molly Kearney.